Hello, everyone. Welcome to the War Show 210. My name is Ray, and we're back for another prediction show for Sunday's AEW Double or Nothing card. I am joined once again by Unavailable Try Again, aka D. D, how's it going?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing today?
I'm perfectly good. I'm ready for Sunday for sure. We are post Clash of Champions or Night of Champions. I'm sorry, and or I can't do it right, but Clash of Champions, and that was a fantastic main event card between Roman, Solo, and Sammy and Kevin. That Saudi crowd was on fire. I've never seen that crazy, but we'll do possibly a recap in the future if that's
Art
good.
was
But yeah,
art was good.
yeah. All right, so. Okay, we do have a lot to get into today, and real quick, like as I said, I wanted to correct myself yet again on the last prediction show. I did call it Clash of Champions, as opposed to being Night of Champions, even though it was in the day. But I digress. So typically, the AEW pay per views are long, and this is definitely no exception. We'll start off
Boy,
as far
howdy.
as say again.
No, I'm saying boy, howdy. You said they're long, and I'm like, boy, howdy are
Yeah,
they long?
they go
Jeez.
almost 5 hours sometimes. My goodness. Okay, so we'll start off as far as with the buy-in with the Hardys. With as far as what's going on. Initially, it was going to be the Hardys and Isaiah Cassidy versus Ethan Page and the Guns. However, they wrote off Isaiah as an injury and they replaced him with Hook. So now Hook will be in the buy-in match. So currently, they have the Hardys and the main they call Hook versus Ethan Page and the Guns, aka the As Boys. They were previously minus 1,000. Now they're minus 4,000 for the Hardys and Hook. It's the Hook effect, obviously. The stipulation here is that Ethan Page, if he loses the match, he will work for under Matt Hardy. Here, it's an easy pick. It's obviously going to be the Hardy and the Hooks. Who you got, D?
I got Hardy's and Hook, and I like this story. I know a lot of people don't like it, and they're just like, oh, I don't see the point. It's harmless fun. They've been on Dark Elevation for the most part. They've had a couple of buy-in matches. They've had the deletion match at the Hardy compound. It's just harmless fun. I like all the competitors. I'm looking forward to just having a good match.
It's
Hopefully, a
yeah.
good match.
Hopefully it's okay. I completely forgot the Guns were part of the faction, but then you reminded me previously when we talked privately. But I guess this match kind of makes a little bit more sense. But it's honestly whatever. We'll see where this goes. But I'm curious to see how what the post match or where they go with this. To be honest, but
Oh, Ethan Page working for Matt Hardy is going to be great.
I like Ethan Page. I think he's
Me too.
probably the most underutilized wrestler on it. He's a great heel. Especially that feud with him and Darby, just fantastic. But man, I really hope they do more with him. But we'll see where it goes, as I said.
It's in the business.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, all right, and moving on to the second match. Yeah, this one's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be the Blackjack Battle Royale for the international title. Currently, they have Orange Cassidy as the dog plus 120 with the field minus 160. And in this match, I'll name as far as the individuals. It's 21 wrestlers. You have the Butcher, the Blade, Bandito, Commander, Lee Moriarty, Big Ass Bill, Davari. Can't remember that guy. Best friends, Kip
Tony,
Sabian,
Tony,
Tony Nese. Yeah, Tony Nese. The Lucha Brothers, the Natural. Also, as far as Keith Lee, Juice Robinson, Jay White, as far as Brian Cage, Swerve, and Ricky Starks. These are some interesting competitors, as D called it earlier. Or previously, like as far as privately, the B show players. These guys, there are some really good as far as verses on here. But surprisingly enough, I'm actually going to pick the dog Orange Cassidy to win. It would be stupid to take the belt off of him, but wouldn't put it by them as far as them to eliminate him and have a new champion, maybe Jay White.
hey, though. You say B, like I said, B show players like it's a bad thing. When you have Chris Jericho and Adam Cole and the Elite and MJF and all of these people at the top of your card, and you can easily mix and match any of these guys in there, that's saying something for your
Death.
people
Yeah.
just can have the world championship. Conceivably, you wouldn't bat an eye if Swerve or Brian Cage or Keith Lee or Jay White had the title. You know what I'm saying? You have the ROH tag team champions and they were the AEW tag team champions in here. I mean, this is a good battle royal. This has some substance to it, and you have a lot of storylines in there. You have Keith Lee and Swerve and Brian Cage. You know, where they're going back and forth with Swerve and Brian Cage being part of the Mogul
Yeah.
Embassy, going against, I guess, Dustin Rhodes is with Keith Lee. I don't really know what they're doing with that.
They're
It's
called the
kind of
Natural
weird.
Limitless team. I don't know. That's kind of weird, but you brought up a great point. There is multiple feuds going or happening on this one battle royale. So Tony is kind of essentially killing multiple birds with one stone here. But I mean, there is a lot of things that are factoring in here. But you're right.
Smart. That's very smart by
It's
him to
it's
keep
decent
things
booking,
going.
and on top of that, you have probably one of the best like title reigns out there going on with Orange Cassidy. A lot of people don't like him. Jim Cornette being one. I think this is one of the best runs I've seen in a long time. But this is gonna be it should be an excellent match.
And with him in the state that he is, you also have a lot of people who I think Orange Cassidy is going to win. I don't know if I said that, but my pick is Orange Cassidy. But you can conceivably see quite a few people who could win this title. And I don't mean just the people like Swerve, Jay White, and Juice Robinson. I'm talking Bandito can win this title. I could
That'd be sick.
I could easily see Bandito winning. You know what I mean? I could see somebody like Big Bill winning. Is he like the forefront of winning? No, but if he won, would I like be like, oh my god, Big Bill is a champion? No, he's a decent wrestler and he's huge. You
Well,
know,
also the other thing
Keith Lee,
too.
Swerve, Ricky,
They're. I
all
mean,
of those guys
the
have a chance to win.
yeah, it's very daunting. The matchup as far as like who has to pose is somewhat daunting. Traditionally, usually there is a as far as a wild card or a joker. I don't know if they're gonna do that here. That's another thing we probably should bring up. And that's probably why Vegas has the field as minus 160. But I think Orange Cassidy would be. But who do you, if there is a joker, who would you like the joker to be? Enzo.
Top of, wow, off the top of my head of honest possibilities, who could it be? Jeez, I mean,
There's
there's
one guy that kind
nobody.
of I'm surprised is not in here. That I think I could see
I,
as far as dominating on them would be Miro.
I could see that because he is ready to come back. But see, I see Miro. We'll talk about this later. I'll talk about what I see from Miro later. But
Yeah,
I I just see. I think this is the card. I think who we have in here is who we're gonna have. Honestly, and
this
I
yeah.
I just think that because I think that right now you just have great storylines. Unless the Joker is going to be somebody who's going to come in and feud with him later on. I don't see a point in having any more, especially if he's going to go over as we think.
I mean, we'll see, but I'm very curious about that. I think a Joker would probably. Uh,
And
I
I'll
mean,
just throw in
bring
Andrade
Andrade.
if
Oh,
he's healthy. If he's healthy,
I mean, we'll
Andrade.
see. It is the international title. It used to be the post Atlantic one, but um,
Or or maybe I know that he already has a title and he has a big title. Vikingo?
ooh, I mean, I don't know. That'd be interesting. Vikingo would be great. I love Vikingo.
Or
He's fantastic.
this is the international championship. Could we see somebody from New Japan come out if there is a Joker? Because we do have Forbidden Door coming up soon. So it is
Mm,
interesting if there is a Joker. I don't know if there's a Joker, but if
that's
there
the
is,
intrigue. That's the intrigue of this match for sure.
I could see somebody coming in from New Japan if there is a Joker.
I mean, I don't think
But
they
I
need
still see Orange
more.
Cassidy winning no matter what.
Yeah,
No matter what, I see
we
Orange
both
Cassidy.
agree. Or we think Orange Cassidy, even though he's the dog, I think Orange Cassidy should go over. It's not time yet, but it seems like the time is drawing near where he will
Oh
drop the
yeah.
belt eventually.
If he does lose, I wouldn't be surprised either. I guess that's why the odds are so close because if he can conceivably lose, and if he does lose, you wouldn't be like, oh, that's a robbery. The man he's
Yeah,
beat up. He's
yeah,
winning by roll ups now.
yeah.
He
That's
can't even hit the orange punch. He has to get a roll up and sneak out.
well, you can't roll them all up, but we'll see. But this should be interesting. I think this is one of the top four matches I'm looking forward to. So they might put this on early, I think, and trying to get the crowd to feed off the like. There should be a lot of crowd reaction and pops in this one, so I'm looking forward to this one. But we both agree Orange Cassidy should go over, but would not be surprised if he loses. So we'll see. Okay, and the third match. This one is kind of interesting. I don't know where they're going with this. It's the TNT Championship ladder match with Wardlow going up against Christian Cage. Currently, I have Wardlow minus 1,000 favorite with Cage being a plus 500. My pick, this is going to be very straightforward, is Warlow. Although Warlow has lost a lot of steam, it's been a year since he pretty much, I think since he did as far as the turn when he beat MJF and he was really on fire a year ago. Now he's just completely opposite. He's just cooled off completely, and I just don't see why. It didn't make sense also when he lost to Hobbs when Hobbs had the belt and lost it early. And I know you feel very strongly about Hobbs, but my biggest concern here is I just hope Christian Cage does not get hurt in this match. I don't understand why they had a ladder match or had a ladder match be done here, but regardless, Warlow's the pick here. I just hope it's clean and simple and nothing ridiculous. I don't want another Dante Martin injury.
I think you're gonna see that.
Oh God.
This one has been a tough one for me, and I tell you why. Like you said, and I've told you, I think that Wardlow lost him. I don't think that he should have beaten Hobbs. I think that Hobbs was on a roll. He had won a bunch of matches, and he's just a horse on the mic in the ring. He's just one of the best. Wardlow right now it just seems like he's looking for some kind of stable footing. They put him with Arn Anderson. It doesn't seem like anybody really cares. Um, so Wardlow, I mean, he's the safe bet because he's let's be real, he's never really been able to have his title run. Seems like something that just keeps coming up and he keeps losing his title regardless of what it is. Where usually people have 6, 7 defenses before they lose. I don't think he's really been able to have that many. I think that he generally loses it pretty quickly. Now, with that being said, there's a reason why it's a ladder match. Christian Cage has Luchasaurus out there with him.
It's true.
Luchasaurus ain't no chump, you know. And even though they're trying to make Wardlow look like this beast, when you see him against Powerhouse Hobbs and you see him against Luchasaurus, I don't think that even though he did look like he was a monster against Hobbs, these guys are just as big as he is. And when you throw in a ladder and Christian Cage, you throw in Luchasaurus on top of that, I think that's a recipe for him to lose and say, hey, I didn't lose clean. It took 2 of you to beat me. With that said, Miro is back.
Interesting.
We did see him go into Tony's office. We do know that Collision is coming on. Now, do you want to put the title on Miro? I don't know. He hasn't been here for a while, but let's be real. Miro doesn't lose steam. As soon as Miro comes out, he cuts a promo as the Redeemer. Everybody's going to be like, oh, yes, Miro, put the title back on him. So I think for that reason, Wardlow will keep it. Because if you put it on Christian Cage, you're not just taking it off of Christian Cage super quickly. There's a reason why he has a heater and somebody to keep the title on him. So right now I'm gonna go with Wardlow. This was another one of those matches. Like I told you before we started, this whole card, a lot of it was a toss-up to me. I don't know a lot of where they're going with a lot of these stories, but my head says Wardlow. My heart says Christian, but I'm gonna go with my head. And I'm gonna go with Wardlow.
Well, I mean, it is kind of a Wardlow, like a stale as far as run so far. I think a turn might be incoming because this experiment kind of failed in my opinion. But if Christian Cage comes out with the turtleneck, instant heat, man. I'll put him at minus 2,000 if he does come with the turtleneck. But we shall see. But we both agree Wardlow should win. I mean, honestly, the one thing that's probably missing from this, probably Hobbs should have been in this trios. It should have been a trios match in my opinion and gotten his rematch, but whatever. I guess this is what they want to do. They probably have a plan for this, but we'll see what happens. So usually Tony books long term, so we shall see how this concludes. But
and when you look at Christian usually comes up with like how many people come up with a storyline and hold on to that story, outwork everybody. Remember he had the shirts outwork everybody. Then when he turned, worked everybody.
I love it.
Like,
I love Christian.
Awesome.
I love Christian so much.
That's what I said so putting the title on him. If you put the title on him, you don't look at Christian and be like, why would they put the title on him? You look at Christian, you be like, yeah, I get why they put the title on Christian. I can understand why, because he's gonna do something. He's gonna get under your skin as a bad guy. He's going to make you dislike him as a bad guy, and as a good guy, he's gonna you like him. Let's not act like when he comes out as a good guy, everybody doesn't cheer for him. You know, if he was to come out and help Jungle Boy today, people would be like, "Oh yes, Christian." And then he can turn around and say something, and you be like, oh, I hate that dude.
I mean,
But
I'm
Christian
the
is just
opposite
that
to be honest.
he's great.
I prefer Christian Cage as a heel. I love him as a heel. As a babyface, he's kind of whatever. Although he did have a great run against Kenny Omega for the I think it was the Impact title.
Yeah. Oh
Which I
yeah.
know you brought that up and I completely forgot. But I prefer him. Just a turtleneck. I'm just a fan of Christian Cage and the turtleneck. Anyway, okay, and moving on to the next match, the fourth one. This one should be a little bit more interesting. Up we have is the TBS Championship between Jade Cargill versus Taya Valkyrie. It's the match versus move, which should be interesting. Here they have Jade as a minus 5,000 favorite, Taya as a plus 400. My pick is gonna be Jade. However, the question comes up: when will Jade lose, and who should pin her? That's for another discussion. But here, who do you got, D?
I hate to say this, but I have Jade, and I hate to say it because I really like Taya, and I think that she has a credit. I think that with Jade's title run and her streak, I think that it's been up and down. You've had good stories with it, and then you've had some lulls. Like now, I feel like this has been kind of a lull where you're doing the move versus move. Like it's like her streak is in a back.
Mm-hmm.
It's taking a back seat to the move versus move, and I do like that because it's giving her a different aspect of her story. But at this point, I think it's almost time to either just say let her say I don't want this title anymore. It's time for bigger and better things, or you go ahead and you beat her. And to me, in my opinion, for what I want, there's two people who I look and I say, I wouldn't mind if they beat her. One is Taya, and the other is Willow Nightingale. And the reason I say Willow is because Willow, she just had that big win
Mercedes.
against Mercedes Moné. She has the look, she has the personality. The crowd loves her. She's just good. She's made to be a champion. She's gonna sell merchandise. She's gonna do great in the press. She's motivational. She's everything you want in a champion. You give her that rub of ending the streak, just propels her even more. She has not only does she has the New Japan Strong Women's title, but now you propelled her even further with the TBS title and ending Jade's streak. Or you can have somebody who's respected, and it doesn't seem like they're gonna give it to like a Thunder Rosa or somebody like that who's already in the
Mm.
company, who's already made a name. So if you want somebody who's respected, who's on that level, Taya Valkyrie is on that level. Taya Valkyrie is just as big and strong as Jade.
Mm.
She's not a chump. She's been a champion everywhere she's gone.
I think she's still a
She's a
champion.
champion right now,
Yeah.
yes. So I mean, if she was to beat her, I wouldn't look at it and say that makes no sense. It would make perfect sense. She's a credible person to take the title off of her and in that streak. She can speak on the mic. She has personality. She she's with what is it, Johnny AEW or Johnny Dynamite or whatever the
Yeah,
hell he
yeah.
wants to call himself when he came here. Whatever the company is, that's his last name. So it's not like she doesn't have a pedigree of training and working. She's a great
Mm.
worker. We've seen that in the matches she's been in, and I wouldn't be mad, but I don't think they're gonna stop the streak, take the title, and take Jay's move all
Mm.
in one all
Yeah.
in one go. It just seems like a lot, so I'm gonna go with Jade.
Yeah, I mean Jade is green, and I mean that in a good way. She's money. She looks like money. She's believable. The fans actually do like her as a heel. She looks like a respectable champion. She's gotten training from Brian Danielson. I think even from William Regal as well a little bit. But I think to the
There's
point the
been a
question
few of
comes
the
up.
greats.
Say again.
No, so she's been trained by quite a few of the
Yeah.
greats.
So I assume she's gotten better. She's had to gotten better, but I don't think this is time to drop it yet. I think there will be a challenger that comes up. You did bring up Willow. However, I think Willow's gonna be busy. I think they're probably gonna feud her with Mercedes again because she did win the title from New Japan Strong. That belt was specifically for Mercedes, and she of course got her foot broken.
Yeah, I was about to say
Yeah.
she won't be back for a
She won't be.
while.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think they may bring her back possibly by Forbidden Door if it's just a fracture. I don't know, but we'll see. Time will tell. But here's the thing with Jade. Jade has the same problem that other AEW wrestlers have. Same thing with Hook. Same thing with Warlow. What are we doing with them? Like, when are we going to as far as move on? Like, what else is there to do? Like, what's next? And that's the issue with them. But I think Jade is in that same I think she is probably the best of those cut above wrestlers. But yeah, I agree with you. I don't think it's time yet, but the time is coming. When that'll
But
be, I would guess probably this year.
but see, you say that, but the difference is Hook has a title nobody cares about, and Wardlow's title gets hot swapped. She's holding on to that title, and I mean, as soon as you put that title on her with her streak, you kind of handcuff that title. Like you might as well just change that to Jade's title because she's the only one who has held it. She's the, I mean, nobody's breaking this streak of her having it. Like you see how Roman and everybody, she's had
Oh
this title
God.
since inception. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, not only are you not putting her in, to me, feuds that like she should be in this homegrown outcast feud. She's homegrown, literally. She's
Mm-hmm.
one of your best female wrestlers.
She's female
Why is she
Goldberg.
not a part of
Yeah.
this? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is she just? It seems like it's only Jade Cargill with the streak and the title when she's more than that. She is good on the mic. She
Oh
is
yeah.
getting better in the ring.
Yes.
And I mean, yes, does she have rough spots here and there? Yes, but we've watched every single one of her matches live. She's never had a match that we haven't seen. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
You can go back and see any match either on Dynamite or an AEW pay-per-view. She's getting better.
I
But
think.
you have her
Oh,
stuck in these
I
rudderless
I
nowhere
just I just thought of
programs.
one female wrestler that could beat her that we're not talking about. It's what's her name? The alien. What was her name?
Oh, Chris
Yeah,
Statlander.
Chris Statlander. I think she would probably be the best one to dethrone her in my opinion.
Oh, she probably would be, but you know the only problem with Chris is every time they
She gets
give her a
hurt.
push, she gets hurt. And I hate to
She's
saddle her with that moniker, but it's literally every time. It's kind of like CM Punk.
she's
Every
the
time
female CM Punk. I was about to
does
say
something,
that. I was about to say
every
that.
time they have a match, they get hurt. What are you gonna do with that? That's like trying to saddle Punk with Collision or whatever they're doing.
Ugh,
You can do that, but how long before he gets hurt? If that's
that's
what
true.
if it's like people are saying, he got hurt jumping into the audience.
I mean, that was a foolish thing for him to do, but I mean, we'll see.
Well, he still got hurt doing it.
I
He got
think,
hurt in a wrestling match. He's gonna get hurt.
yeah,
He's older.
the
It
CM
happened.
the CM Punk conundrum is definitely deserves its own topic for discussion, and I feel
Oh
like we could
yeah,
probably go an hour or two talking about him, and we did one time offline. But I mean,
yeah.
that there was a lot to talk about with CM Punk, but we'll leave that for another show. I think we
But I
might.
do agree with you with Chris Statlander. I think that if she hadn't gotten hurt, she would have probably broken Jade's streak. Probably wouldn't have gotten this long. Or Chris
Mm,
Statlander would be in the world championship picture. She's big. She's strong. She's very good. She got rid of that stupid alien gimmick.
oh God, yeah,
I think she's another one. You can just you bring her out, you print money.
yeah.
And should she be in line for the TBS title? Yes. And see me, I would put it on and just hope she stays healthy.
Yeah, I know. Well, we'll see.
I
I
put
mean,
it on
yeah.
her and pray.
Yeah, I just hope but I guess we'll see. Only time will tell, but I'm sure Tony has a
Yeah.
plan. We'll see. Okay, moving on to the next match. Up next, we have the AEW Tag Team Championship with FTR versus the Triple J, Jay Lethal,
Oh,
and Jeff
I'd like
Jarrett,
to go first on this one.
and special guest referee Mark Briscoe. But go ahead.
Yes, I would like to go first on this one. There's one more match that I'd like to go first on, but I want to go first on this one. I am tired of seeing Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal get tag team title matches. I like the act. I think what they did was funny. I have liked the build up to this match. I thought the part on the farm was fantastic. I was here for it. Cute little girl, boy. I thought that it was funny. I don't understand why these two keep getting title matches. Why? 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 I just don't get it. Do I like Jeff Jarrett? Do I like Jay Lethal with Satnam Singh and Sanjay Dutt? I love it. I think they're funny. I I even loved them more. I watched Hey EW just to see them and watch Satnam Singh break every single pencil Sanjay Dutt gave to RJ City. I thought it was hilarious. I think they're funny, but I'm tired of seeing them getting title shots. With that said, you're not gonna do everything you did with FTR You took the titles off of the Acclaim, which was one of the hottest groups, just to use the ass boys, the Guns, as transitional champions to get to FTR. That's pretty much what they did.
Mm-hmm.
That was the story. I can't see after their first defense, you're gonna take it off of them to Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. I just can't see. I can't see it. But I will say the highlight of this whole feud was Mark Briscoe looking at Dax Harwood after he said "shake my hand," slapping him in the face, getting out the ring, just pushing Karen Jarrett out the way like "move, bitch," and slapping everybody all the way up the ring till he got to fucking Jay Lethal, taking him by his face and saying, "I'm tired of this shit, boy."
I mean, he literally went up the ramp, but he was doing his best Bernie Mac impersonation. I
That
thought that was
was
fantastic.
awesome.
Great stuff.
That was fantastic. It looked like he took his face like he wanted to say, "You disappointed me." But instead he said, "I'm tired of this shit." But that was a country way of saying you disappointed me. It was awesome. The build-up has been awesome. This match should be fun to watch. As much as I'm tired of seeing Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett get their title shots. I'm looking forward to this match. I do pick FTR to win, but I am looking forward to this match. The build has been incredible.
Gotcha. Well, FTR are minus 2,000 favorites of Vegas. They do have as far as the what I call like the new oddities at plus 700. I love Jeff Jarrett, bro. I hated the whole TNA and WCW Jeff Jarrett. I mean, the guy was just oh my god, he would book himself to be like the top
King
guy,
of the Mountain.
the king of the mountain. It's just terrible. But this Jeff Jarrett, this man, I absolutely love the Fargo strut, the dumb heel. Like as far as like the amount of heat he can put on when they had Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett against the Acclaim, when they had that false finish or the false pin, would Aubrey had the referee overturn the decision with Jarrett trying to push Aubrey out the way, bro. It was fantastic heat during that match, and then they had the rematch. Jarrett lost his shit, bro. I love Jeff Jarrett. He is great. I will say that I love when he was gonna sing with my baby tonight on that segment. I love this oddity group. I think I would not be surprised if Mark Briscoe joins this group. They could do a turn. I think they would be liked as baby faces. But I love him as heels too. Sanjay Dutt is great. Now they got Karen Jarrett in here. The last person that's missing now is Dixie Carter. But we shall see where this goes. But
they did name drop her.
Oh God, they did. They did. You know what? She might come out and screw FTR. So I don't know. We'll see. And then you just see Mark Briscoe like, what the hell's going on? But dude, I'm looking forward to this match. This should be great. The build-up has been decent. I do agree with you. That was the transition between the Acclaim to the Ass Boys to FTR was whatever. I guess they didn't want FTR pin the Acclaim at the time. That's probably why they did what they did. Although I did like the Ass Boys coming out to Mini Men with the 50 Cent drop. That was fantastic. Great. But my pick is definitely FTR. I'm at the moment, but now you got me a little shocked thinking about Dixie Carter coming out and probably screwing these guys. But I don't know.
I don't think that she's gonna screw them. I don't think it's gonna be anything, too funny with this one. I think that I can't see them taking the titles off of them and giving. I just can't.
They could be a potential sore, but could you imagine the
Yeah,
pop Dixie Carter gets in Vegas of all places? But I don't know, man. But that'd be interesting. But I think the best thing to do here is FTR. We'll see what happens. Possibly a collision course with Aussie open in the near future, but we'll see how that goes too. Cause I think
and I'm with you. I'm interested to see where this is going. Like with Mark, I think that his character work, and I'm sorry that it took for his brother to pass away for them to put him on AEW television, because he has been great on our screen. Like I said, even though I don't get the whole slapping people, and I wanted to bring this up because it kind of goes to the story, but if it doesn't go to the story, it doesn't make any sense to me. We've seen all of this where people they comment on seeing the show, like how in WWE, I know this is the AEW prediction show, but in WWE they act like you don't know that there's a TV show going on. Like the wrestlers are just dumb to the fact that this is all being recorded and they can go back and just watch what happened. You've had people like Sammy Guevara go back and say, "I've
So
seen."
yeah,
He said, "Maxwell, I've seen what happened." Or you've had the Young Bucks try not to let Kenny see them nodding to Hangman to to give him the win. Why did why are they acting like Mark Briscoe can't just go back and see why he got you know the he was blinded.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He couldn't see.
I think
Why are you acting like
he was aware. I just think the way that Dax came off, where he's like, "I'm sorry, shake my hand, God," like just a real dick. Like, be a man, shake my
but that's
hand.
how
Like,
they've always been towards
yeah,
each
but I
other.
mean, still, he could have been a little bit more sincere than that. Like, I was like, "What the hell?" Like, dude, you just powder me. You want me to just shake your hand? Like, no, like f you, dude. Like, but
But he
I
could
agree
have
with you. I
easily
agree.
had looked at the tape.
Well,
You can
at
go back and
least
look at it and be like, he was blonde and couldn't see. He literally spit beer in his eyes and he's covering his eyes and he just has his hands out and
I
he
think it was
somehow gets
tequila.
into his grasp. I forget who threw him.
It was
Well,
tequila.
whatever it was,
Yeah.
his blonde he pile drived him, and I mean, and then he said sorry. He still couldn't see. You can see it on the tape, Mark. Like you're not stupid. That's one thing they've made us know. They might be rednecks, but they're not stupid.
I don't know
Jay and
what to say.
Mark were not stupid at all. You know what I'm
Yeah, yeah.
saying?
No, but
So the
true. I
fact
mean, we'll
that
see.
they made
Maybe
it
we
to
get a double turn. How about
yeah,
that?
I mean, I don't. I'm here for it, but I just don't. I be consistent. Be consistent. He can go back and look the videotape and see what happened.
Well,
For him to come out, for him to slap him like that, it was just like, yo, bro, it wasn't. He didn't do it on purpose. I can do it on purpose if you want me to, but that time it wasn't.
well, I'll
He
give
was a dick.
AEW.
I'm
Yeah,
not saying he wasn't a
yeah,
dick.
no, no.
He was a dick though.
True, but I will give a little leeway to AEW because usually they've already developed goodwill towards the fans, and normally they are aware of stuff like that, and they try to correct it down the line sometimes. So I'll give them a little bit as far as leeway and kind of give them a bit of a leash, like as far as not pull it this quick. But we'll see how this plays out and goes. But looking forward to this match. This is one of the for sure top 4 matches out of this card. But anyway, I think we'll move on to the next one here. This one should be interesting. It's the AEW World's Trios Championship. It's the open house rules match with the House of Black. It's an open as far as challenge for anyone. Spoiler, kids, it's going to be the Acclaim. I think, and pretty much Bowens was pretty much hinting at the House wins, but never bet on Black. It's essentially going to be the House of Black versus the Acclaim and Daddy Ass. There's no bet at the moment because this match is not official yet, but I'm pretty sure that will be. But my pick here, I will bet on Black. I will go with House of Black, and they should still remain champions. Who you got, D?
I wanted to ask. I know that the match is coming, but I haven't heard. What's the stipulation
Oh God.
that the acclaimed have picked? Because when they have these matches, the other team gets to pick one stipulation with the House of Rule with the
Man,
House of Black.
I don't even think House of Black knows their own damn rules. They'd have to they had to correct each other on that.
But
But
you know what I'm talking like.
yeah,
Last one with the previous match, they didn't have to tag in. You could just as soon as one person went out, another person could just go right in. It didn't have to be actual tags. So I'm
well,
curious to see
the
what
only
the
one I know is
acclaim are going to
no
pick.
rope break. That's and I think it's no DQ possibly. I'm not sure, but and then
Well, that depends on who picks it because there
right
was a Q in the last one. So that's what I say. I'm curious to see what the rules are, even though I think that the House of Black is going to win either
constant
way.
constant
I'm
scissoring.
just
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm curious. I'm curious. It's just so interesting. Like, what would the acclaim pick? Because they're an interesting team. So, what kind of stipulation would Daddy Ass say? Look, boys, I don't think that we should allow them to do this, or this is what we should have, or should it be a no disqualification, or should we have no rope breaks, or no tags, or whatever else they can put in? They turn the lights all the way off, and you can only have a spotlight on the people who are legal at
Oh,
the
how about they
time.
should just tell them, hey, the other rules should be turn the damn lights on.
Yeah, like
I can't see
what
out here. God.
like I'm curious. I'm just that's just one of those things where I'm just extremely curious as to what the rules are. I find that fascinating that you know how I feel about the House of Black. I love everything about them. I love their aesthetic. I love the look. I love the moves. I love the song. I love the entrance. I think that thing with Julia Hart and the mask, I think that is just a great presentation overall. So when it comes to their matches and what they do, I'm happy they're back. I'm ecstatic that they came back in their
Mhm.
group again. And I love that every week has been a different style of match because it's things that I never knew that was a actual match in certain promotions where you don't have to tag in and out. I thought that was really cool. You
Well,
know,
even though I'm picking House of Black, I'm gonna contrast with you as far as disagree with the lights. I don't like the lights thing. They were at first they turn off the lights and have the little ashes falling in the background on the screen. I just turn on the damn lights. I want to see them wrestle. Just have
I
a
could
regular
give or
match.
take those.
I mean, but I think it's kind of silly in my opinion. It's kind of stupid, but the bigger question should be as far as the House of Black. They at times the rules I don't understand it, but I think it's not time for them to lose at right now. However, the question I ask to you is, when should they lose, and who should be the ones that beat them?
I don't know. And for me, that's not a fair question because I'm a mark. I'm a mark for the House of Black. I'm
Oh
not gonna
come
sit
on!
here and lie. I'm
Oh,
not gonna act like I don't want to see them lose anytime soon. I like those three. I think that what they bring to the ring, the way that they command the ring, the way that they
oh yeah.
their presence when they come in, and the way people look at them, and the way I think that everything about them is cool. And I do think that, of course, obviously, at some point they should lose to who is established enough to lose to. Like I can understand if they do lose to the Acclaim because at least the Acclaim have some sort of rapport with each other. They've been a tag team, and Daddy Ass has been with them for a while. But I don't really want to see
I
50
got one.
year old Billy Gunn with the trios title over the House of Black. I'm sorry, that's
Um,
just me.
I have two tag teams.
Miss me with
I can
it.
bring them up.
Sure.
I would say Triple J and Mark Briscoe, or better yet, one that makes more sense, the Undisputed Era. I think some we can do something with the Undisputed Era. They should definitely write that out with Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly whenever he's coming back. But that could be a team that could possibly beat him, and I'm sure they'll be behind him. But man, I just want to see Malachi and also Buddy in singles competition. They're just so good. Same thing with Kenny. I don't want to see him in trios. I want to see him in singles. But
But
these
you
guys
can
are
still have them as singles
you.
as well as being champions.
I mean, you could do the same thing with tag team, kind of like with the what's it called? Did in WWE with the New Day. You could switch, swap them into the tag. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know,
I agree.
but they're a fantastic trios. Don't get me wrong. House of Black is fantastic. They're just and they are absolute monsters. They look imposing. They have a presence on them, like especially as far as Brody. He is just a monster, dude. Especially when he does that choke going outside the ring, like that is just terrifying, man. But still, I think we'll go as far as we both agree. We are gonna go with the House of Black as far as going over.
Yeah.
But when they're gonna drop the titles, I don't know if it'll be this year, but don't think they should lose the title anytime soon.
See, I
But
ask you. Let me ask you a question. Well, so while we're on this topic, um, I'm with you with wanting to see like Aleister Black. Like I would love to see Buddy Murphy and Kenny Omega tie it up 1-on-1.
oh, that'd be
I
great.
think that would be a tremendous match. But if you take the titles off of them and you do have them going singles, who are they going after? MJF is already tied up. It looks like Wardlow in that tag, the TNT title is going to be tied up. Uh, you got Orange Cassidy, his title is tied up. So where you right now, if you take those titles off of them, what do? You really don't have an established team to take them off.
I
The
think.
Acclaim don't
Uh,
need the titles.
oh,
If we look at the Acclaim, they're gonna be over regardless. They're fantastic.
mhm.
They got over from nothing. Right now, the House of Black they are bringing prestige to those trio titles. They're making them mean something with the matches that they're having and the way that they're dominating with those titles. They like what other title right now is being defended like the trios titles besides Orange Cassidy?
Well, let's go back to what you said earlier as far as stick with consistency. You brought up the TNT title with
Yeah.
Miro. There is some unfinished business with Malachi Black and Miro, but that would be likely down the line. So you could go back and revisit that again.
Oh yeah,
That'd be
definitely.
fantastic. But
I'm for that. I am so for that.
dude,
Oh
that'd
my
be
god.
amazing, brother. The
I'm
fact
so for
that
that.
I love the line from Miro when he said that like Malachi, you like to stab backs, I like to break them. Jesus Christ, man, this guy.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
pagan. I'm
yeah,
so for it.
dude, I cannot. Yeah, that was great. I think it was was Forbidden Door when they had them feuding at the time. That's almost a year ago. So, man,
Okay, look. If you're gonna take the titles off of them and have Aleister Black versus Miro, I'm with that shit.
I mean, that's
Take
what
the
I'm saying.
titles off of them.
I think
Now,
by
if that's what you're
then,
gonna do,
yeah,
I'm here for
by
it.
then we may have a change. I think. That's what I suspect. So that's to answer your question. Right now, no. Doesn't right now. There's nobody for Malachi to as far as feud with, but I believe a little bit later down the line there will be as far as one door closes, one will open.
Oh yeah,
That could
no,
be.
for sure, definitely. But I don't want to see him lose it right like anytime soon. Give him a couple of more months. Give him at least 2 more months with these titles, or at least another month with the titles and some decent matches before you take them off. Establish somebody who's worthy of taking them off. A Bullet Club, another faction that you just throw together. Because remember, anybody can come together. So just throw together somebody who's really good and have them come in and win the titles. The embassy, do somebody just establish somebody before you take the titles off of them is what I would like.
I think they're trying to separate ROH wrestlers with AEW wrestlers at the moment. So
As long as they're established, I don't care.
yeah, I mean,
I
I'm
don't
for
care
it, dude.
which
I like to
company
see
they're from.
matches. Like, I mean, something like maybe a Samoa Joe versus Malachi. I'm down for that one too. I mean,
Yeah,
goodness,
just give me
but
some wins.
yeah,
As long as you're winning before you're
just
challenging for the title and you're established as you are a capable threat for that title, I'll give me that. Like the Acclaimed are a capable threat for the titles. So if they took it off of them, it wouldn't be that much of a shock. But past them, who else are you gonna who's gonna feud?
I mean, I'm just gonna use the line you used earlier. Just make it make sense.
Yeah,
Just yeah. So
yes.
we'll go with that. But all right, I
All right.
think there's a lot of angles we can go with that. But man, this should be another great match that we'll see. But okay, moving on to the next one. This one is gonna be very very interesting because I believe Vegas knows something that we don't
Am I
possibly.
gonna rant? Is this my
Mm,
rant?
oh no. Well, this one. Well, hear me on this one. It's the AEW Women's World Champion with
Oh no, it's
Jamie
not my rant.
Hayter versus Tony Storm. Currently, Hayter was a minus 400. She's down to a minus 200. Tony Storm is now down to 150. It may turn into a pick'em on Sunday. My pick here, I'm actually gonna go with Tony Storm. Jamie Hayter is actually legitimately is hurt from what I heard. They did put as far as running angle on Rampage last night on Friday night, and they may use that if she's not ready. They may actually use that to possibly go move forward with the feud. And I think what's going to happen is whether it's a work or it's a legitimate injury, I think Jamie will drop the title here and have a rematch at All In at Wembley. I think that's what I'm going. So I'm going to go with Tony Storm with a rematch at All In. Who you got, D?
Uh, this is one of those ones where we talked about doing this prediction show where I told you there's a few that I didn't know, and I kept telling you this is one of those ones where I just don't know, and I still don't know.
Hmm.
And I say that because I just I can conceivably see Tony winning. I don't see where the buildup was. I don't see where the story was as far as for this match right now. With the Outcast and stuff, it just seems like it's just been the Outcast versus the homegrown. So I was actually surprised when this match came up. So I'm honestly thinking that maybe because she's hurt is the reason why they just put this match on the card with the limited buildup that it is. And going by what the predictions that I've already said and what I think for the main event, spoiler alert, there are no other titles changing hands. So I'm hard pressed to think that they're gonna have Double or Nothing, which is it's not like they have pay-per-views every month like WWE. There's only 4 a year
Mhm.
that are like their big four, and now you throw in all in. We don't know if those are going to be annual or not, but we do know that Double or Nothing is one of their big boys. So I'm like I I I do think that one title has to switch hands, and if there's going to be a title that switches hands, this is going to be it.
Hmm.
For like you said, I've heard, we all read the reports from the guys. We all have our different,
Sources.
subscriptions
Yeah.
to a backstage source or something
Yeah.
like that. Who you have, I like Fightful, and I know you like
Like figure four. Yeah.
yeah. So they all have just about the same information, just different sources inside the company. So we both heard that she's hurt. So I can conceivably see her. I can see Tony Storm winning, and like I said, I do see at least one title change on their big show. And to me, this is that title change because none of the other title change. The only other, like I said, the only other title change I could see is Christian, and
Wardlow.
that's only because he has
Yeah.
Wardlow. I mean, that's only because he has Luchasaurus. So those are my two pick'ems because it's like, oh, one of them has to change.
Yeah.
I don't see Tony not having a title change on his card at all. So it's like, oh, I don't know what to pick. And but you know what? Because you picked Tony, I'm gonna just keep it different. And I'm gonna say Jamie, and I'm gonna say Jamie because even if she is hurt, if it's not something that's too drastic, she can hold it and they can continue this outcast versus homegrown storyline
Mm-hmm.
with keeping her with minimal contact. Because that's pretty much what they've been doing these past couple months with the outcast in them. It hasn't been any real like one-on-one. You can always have Sheeta and Britt fight, or you can
Mm-hmm.
bring in somebody else to do the homegrown stuff because I'm sure they're gonna add more women to this at some point. It's not gonna be just a 3-on-3 because you still have Riho, you still have Willow who is coming out and getting her behind kicked by them. So
Mm-hmm.
I think there's ways to hide Jamie Hayter if she's not significantly hurt. I haven't seen how bad it is that her injury is. I haven't seen how bad her injury is, but if she's not significantly hurt, you can hide her for a couple of weeks while she heals up. So just to be contrarian, I'm gonna say Jamie Hayter is gonna win.
Retains. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, but would you like to see that as far as like Tony win and then go up against Jamie at All in the UK in front of you, like Jamie's home country?
I honestly, this is gonna sound terrible, but the story has not been there for the world champion. Like she seemed
God.
like an afterthought.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
another thing.
don't care. I
I
like to me when you're a champion, I want to see the when I look at wrestling, and we've had this talk. When I look at wrestling, wrestling is supposed to do two things: make you
care.
believe
Yeah.
that somebody's gonna win, and yes, and make you care when somebody does win. I can believe it in the ring when they're not trying to do stupid spots, like when they're not
Mm-hmm.
taking their time, when they're
Mm-hmm.
doing stuff that you would really do in a quote unquote fight, even though you're doing flippity moves and things like that, you can still make it believable if you do a high impact move and now the person's hurting you get up to the top. You have to also care not just about the person, but that they want to win the title, that the titles are the most important. Your championships are supposed to be the most important. You win the title, you get more money. You get more money, you can feed your family and have a better life. So you want to believe that they're after the title.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing about what the outcast and the homegrown have done that's been about the title. So why should I care when they're defending the title? And I hate to say that because I think that Jamie Hayter and Tony Storm are really good. you
Yeah.
know, they're really good in the ring. But if the story is going to be about the outcast and that's versus the homegrown, and that's what you're going to focus on, don't just throw in the title. Be like, oh, here's a title match for you. We need to get another women's title match. We forgot we had this one. Here's the title match. Make it so that we're coming for your title. Any one of us is coming for that title to make them go at Jamie. Make her have to fight each one of them individually to keep her title. One pay-per-view should be Paige or Soraya. One pay-per-view should be Ruby.
Yeah.
One pay-per-view should be Tony. Make them focus on that. All I've seen is them focus on anyone who's out there. It's not like they're just focusing on Jamie and then say or beating up somebody and saying, "Come on out, Jamie. We want your title.
Oh
We're gonna
God.
we're gonna we're gonna rule this place because we have all the titles. So come on out, Jade. Come on out, Jamie. We're coming for your titles." That's not what they're saying. They're not making it about the title. So that's why it's hard pressed for me to care
Y-
if they defend it
Yeah.
in the UK. If it's these two that are fighting,
I think what's going on here, and I think this is more of there's a bigger story going on here that they probably haven't unveiled yet, which I think, and this kind of goes, I mean, it's kind of like future booking. I know you don't like that. I believe what's happening here is they're doing the outcast thing versus the homegrown to set up possibly a blood and guts. There is, and the reason I suspect that now more is because Tony Khan did do, as far as I believe, a pre-show, like some sort of pre-show of some sort, as far as discussing Mercedes Monet, and apparently there's something going on there that there was a sort of agreement that he said, and I quote, whether as far as Mercedes and Tony or AEW has an agreement, or they do something at Forbidden Door, that's between those two. I think there's smoke to that fire, or fire to that smoke. So I would not be surprised if Mercedes joins the Outcasts, these WWE girls that come in and go against these AEW girls. But that could be it. Who knows? We probably won't know probably until later on. But anyway, I digress.
I get that, but what does that have to do with this?
With the title, you're right. It's being overlooked.
And that's my biggest issue. That's the biggest issue that I have with it. And I mean, yes, I get it. I know that I'm sure there's going to be a bigger story and I get it. But the story should never be bigger than the titles, because those should be what you're all striving for. Like everything else should be like, if you're not in the title picture, yes, you have another story. Mm-hmm. You can put the champion in those stories as well. But the title should be something that somebody is always focusing on. It should never feel like it's an ancillary part of a story, especially your women's title. It's not like it's your TBS title or your mid-card title where you're throwing that into a story just to have somebody powerful in that story. This is your big championship. You only have one women's championship. Yeah. You only have one big men's championship. It should be a focal point at all times. There should never be a time when people aren't gunning for the champion. Like and I don't care whether they're using your friends as leverage, whether they're like when they had the John Cena match with Seth Rollins and he was threatening to step on edges. That's what you're supposed to. When there's a champion, you're supposed to say, if you don't give me a title shot, I'm gonna break your friend's neck. You know what I'm saying? Your friend will never be able to. You get them to come out, you make them, and then you do. I'm gonna give your friend a concussion. I'm gonna give him a concerto, and then after they give you the title shot you want, you do it anyway. You get what I'm saying? That's what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to show how ruthless you are, and that you will go through nothing. You will go through anything just to get that title. Mm-hmm. But they haven't done that. Nobody seems to care about the women's title.
I kind of forgot Jamie was a champion for a bit. So that
exactly
kind of
goes. My point.
So I guess we'll see. But all right. But this is the match right now where I guess me and D are both are picking the other side. I am picking Tony. D is picking Jamie. We shall see. I think they do have a plan in place here, but I guess we'll just wait for it to play out. All right.
To say, just like with the AJ and Seth match, though, either one of them win, I'm happy. I like both of them.
I do. I mean, I like both of them too, but for the wrong reasons. Anyway, moving on to the next match. This one, I'm sure D is very much looking forward to. We have the unsanctioned match with Chris Jericho versus Adam Cole, Sabu Special Enforcer. The floor is yours, my man.
I like Sabu. I don't have a problem with Sabu at all. Why the fuck is Sabu a part of this match? I don't get it. I don't get why he came out to help Adam Cole. I don't know why Adam Cole thinks that a 70-year-old enforcer is going to help in a 5-on-2 situation. I don't know why an unsanctioned match with no rules needs a fucking enforcer to enforce rules that there aren't any of. They're non-existent. There aren't any rules, bro. What is he enforcing? And if Jake Hager
he's and enforcing the rest of the spots, his poses, man.
Bro, he came out hit 3 poses in the ring for what? What is he enforcing? I don't understand. What is he supposed? Who is he? Who's scared of Sabu at 70 years old? He just got out the hospital.
I mean, Taz was Taz.
I'm quite sure Taz ain't scared of him.
I mean, he was freaking out in commentary.
Probably because he was excited to see his friend. I mean, that's about it. Because I don't understand, why would Jake Hager, Cool Hand, or Daddy Magic, or Danny Garcia, or any of them be scared of him? Why am I all of a sudden scared? If I'm not scared of Roderick Strong, why am I scared of Sabu? The dude is 70 and just got out the hospital.
That's true.
This is an unsanctioned match. There are no, if they wanted to pull out a table, put Adam Cole and Roderick Strong through it, there's no rule saying that they can't.
Well, I mean,
unsanctioned. Yeah, wasn't there a barbed wire? Wasn't there barbed wire and shit? And when whole barbed wire betting when Kenny Omega and John Moxley had their unsanctioned match, I could swear there was a whole like barbed wire.
It was,
what is he enforcing?
It was a Japanese death match, I believe.
Bro, what is he enforcing? They had an unsanctioned match here in Lights Out or whatever the fuck they want to call it. It was unsanctioned.
Well, he's not really an enforcer. He's on Adam Cole's corner, so
It
But
says, I'm looking at the graphic. It
and
says
I
unsanctioned match, special enforcer Sabu. What is he special enforcing?
don't
He's
know.
gonna get.
Maybe he might
What does
jump
he
off
do?
the top ropes
Why
with
would
a
you?
barbed wire chair or something. I don't know.
Bro, he just got out the hospital. We're gonna see a
He's about
whole,
to go back.
whole lot more than a fucking wrestling match if he comes off the top of the rope and with a fucking barbed wire chair.
I mean,
You
we'll
know what
see.
I'm saying?
But I
Like,
mean,
and then,
yeah.
and what if you're Adam Cole? What are you thinking? Now, all right, I understand the pop, but if you're Adam Cole and they say you're outnumbered 5-2, the first thing in your mind is, you know what?
I mean, give him
I'm
call
gonna
to
call
Sabu.
Sabu. He's gonna come and he's gonna even the odds. That is 3 men in one. We're not getting old ECW Sabu. We getting racist just got out the hospital Sabu, who's on Twitter. That's who we're getting. Are we serious here?
Well,
Are we serious? Why did you just call Rick Steiner?
I mean,
Why,
oh my god!
if you want somebody, who has no public etiquette, why didn't you just get Rick Steiner? We already know that he's a transphobe. Why didn't you just get his ass out here and get his ass beat up by 3 other people? Because that's what's gonna happen. I don't understand why Sabu is in this match. It makes no sense to me. If you're doing it to be nice to him because he got out the hospital and he needs some money to pay his hospital bills, that's all good. But do it in a way that makes sense. It doesn't make sense him as a special enforcer. You have Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. You trying to tell me you couldn't get one of them to be a special enforcer? I don't get it. I'm sorry. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't care who wins this match, strictly because Sabu is in this match and he's a special enforcer. I'm done.
Well, obviously, I know you don't care, but Vegas does. Vegas does have Adam Cole previously was a
Cole
minus.
is gonna win.
He should win. He was a minus 1,000 odds. He is now a minus 2,000 odds. His odds doubled. Jericho's plus 700. I do have an answer for you. I think why Sabu is involved, and it's mainly tied into Chris Jericho. Sabu was on the Jericho cruise on Talk is Jericho. They were talking about as far as the previous hardcore matches and whatnot. And I believe Sabu was intrigued by some of the matches that were going on that were taking place during the Jericho cruise, and that's why he's a little bit intrigued by it. And I think it was Chris Jericho's idea that Sabu was brought in. So to answer your question, that's the main reason. But I think you're right about it. You're right. This doesn't make sense.
The context of the story, that it makes no sense for him to be. I get it from that aspect. But in the context of this story, it makes no sense to me.
I mean,
maybe I'm missing something.
Maybe you can get a pop here. You can bring in some of the other ECW guys. I sincerely doubt it. Like a Raw Van Dam put a couple of Van Daminators. Hell, Taz is out there in commentary. You might bring him in. I don't know what they're going to do with this. This is it doesn't make sense to me. It could have been a regular match. It'd have been fine.
In some way that makes sense. I don't mean to cut you up, but this one irritates me because they could have brought him in a way that literally makes sense. He could have done a plethora of different things. You could have just been like, he's going to be in Adam Cole's corner. Great. Adam Cole has Sabu in his corner. No, you literally put special enforcer. Like, he's supposed to be scaring people out of, you better not attack Adam Cole. I'm going to get you.
Like, bro, he does have that look on his face, like on the card, like he's going to, like no. Like, yeah.
Like, in his day, he was dope. Like, I will give, I love Sabu and Sandman and all of them. But right now, it's like when you bring out these older guys, and granted, that's like who are there's still two, not the Fabulous Freebirds, I can't remember. There's still 2 older guys who are
Rock and Roll Express.
Yes, you bring now you bring them out. I might be like, okay, they're still active, they're still going. You can see that they can still go in the ring. Maybe somebody might be intimidated, but not when they just got out the hospital.
I mean, I love the Rick Steiner comment though. You might as well bring up freaking Hulk Hogan. Really. Oh, that's work for me, brother.
You're gonna disassociate yourself from other people, but you're gonna bring in Sabu because he has friends there.
I think,
but that's a story for another day.
What makes more sense, probably, I think we are in the cups as far as getting a reunion from the Undisputed Era. I think that's gonna happen soon. And Adam Cole did comment that Kyle O'Reilly should be coming very, very, very soon, is what he quoted. But we'll see. My pick here is Adam Cole. There's really no reason as far as for him to lose. I think the special enforcer thing was unnecessary. I mean, unsanctioned would have been fine, but I don't understand why they brought in Sabu. It was just kind of unnecessary. I think it was more of a Tony Khan. Like, I think it was a Jericho suggestion, and Tony Khan said, "Oh yeah, bring him." But it didn't make much sense. It got a pop. We may get possibly some other old reunions. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but we both agree. Well, I guess D
Oh
doesn't
no, I
care.
say
He may
no.
go use the
Adam
bathroom.
Cole is gonna win. I
Yeah,
think that Adam Cole is. See, like I said, my problem is make it make sense. There's no reason for him to be the special enforcer. If you
yeah.
wanted to say that he's just coming in, maybe if they would have brought him in and then brought some other people, Sabu is coming with some friends, and they're all gonna be in Adam Cole's corner, and now you have all of these old ECW dudes or whatever you want to do it, but you now there's a reason for Jericho and his guys to be intimidated and scared. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I would get it in that place. Oh, you're in Las Vegas? Then hey, he's gonna have his friend. This is his home turf, so he's gonna bring some of his friends with him, and we're gonna make sure that the JAS doesn't do anything. I get it. I'm here for it. Him as a so because the special enforcer means you're supposed to be neutral and make sure that neither side does anything. Then what's your purpose of being there if it's a 5-on-2? You're not gonna stop either side from doing anything.
Cheap pop, man. Cheap pop. As
I
McFoley
mean,
would
I
say.
get it, but even with a cheap pop, you could have made better sense.
Yeah,
Him
they
as a
kind of
special
went
enforcer,
from
unless
Adam Cole calling Chris Jericho a stupid idiot to Britt Baker getting the black eye to fucking Sabu as the enforcer.
like, and now mind you, if you're gonna tell me that the special enforcer is not supposed to be enforcing rules, he's supposed to be enforcing some sort of quote unquote order. I might be able to get it, but then, like I said, why would anybody be in storyline context, not in just like real life or what he in the context of this story? Why is anybody, especially in a 5-on-3 sports entertainers,
Oh
why are they
God.
scared of Sabu? You know what I'm saying? It
I
just
don't
doesn't
know.
make sense.
We'll see what happens, but I mean we can go
I'm gonna
probably.
watch the match, but
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
I'm gonna
I'll watch
watch
it. I'll hate it, but I'll watch it. Like, no, I mean, we'll see what
I like
happens.
Chris
We'll see where
Jericho
this
and
plays
Adam
out.
Cole.
I think this is kind of an intro to bringing back Kyle O'Reilly. Whether they bring back Bobby Fish, I have no freaking clue. But we shall see. We'll see how this goes. That's obviously another topic.
Oh, I'm here for it. I'm an agent of chaos. I am here for it. I am looking. I like to watch a train wreck sometimes.
Oh my
I am
god.
here for it.
Well, he's referring to Bobby Fish, but we'll see how this goes.
I am
Anyway,
here for it.
moving on to the next match. This one I think we'll probably go long on. It is next match we have is the Anarchy in the Arena. We have the Elite versus the Blackpool Combat Club. Currently, the Elite are minus 160 favorites. The Blackpool Combat Club plus 120. I'm gonna go. I think I know who you're gonna pick. I'm going the other way. I'm picking the Blackpool Combat Club, and I'll tell you why. This has been a very, very long build, referring to the Elite, as far as this reunion happening for years, and I'm going back to the being the Elite as far as storylines where they were building off of that. However, there's a lot of things that we're kind of overlooking that we kind of forgot. One, as far as like Don Callis had turned on Kenny. Takeshita might possibly come in and do a run-in and possibly do a turn. There's no disqualification. The other thing, too, that you probably are aware of on being the Elite, the Dark Order. The Dark Order feel like kind of left out. They were trying to get as far as Kenny to turn on the Bucks. That didn't work. There's a lot of things that can happen here. But one thing I will as far as guarantee, Moxley probably should be the first one to bleed. He did promise a bloodbath. He'll probably be, I think once he goes through the ropes, he'll start bleeding. But we'll see how this goes. But my big here is the Blackpool Combat Club, the BCC. D, who do you got?
I think you're gonna be surprised.
Really?
You know me, like Ed says. Yeah, no, I'm going with Blackpool Combat Club,
Okay.
and I'm gonna tell you why. One is because I want to see this keep going, and a lot of the time it doesn't end until the babyface gets their win. So I want to see this. I'm enjoying this feud. I don't think that you can have them win with Hangman just coming back. There's more meat on the bone, and I want to see where they're gonna go with this. I think that they're a well-oiled machine in the Blackpool Combat Club, and I love how. Did you watch what was it? Oh shoot, was it, Dynamite?
I
When
did.
Willie
Yeah.
Yuta, when Willie Yuta didn't cover the pin, and Daniel
Oh,
Bryan
yeah.
was like, "You got to cover the shoulders," and at the end he was slapping him.
Yeah.
Oh, he wasn't slapping him. Yeah, no, he did slap him. No, he
Oh,
slapped him when the lights,
he lost
when the
his shit
cameras
on the
went off.
mic. He
But he
was.
he was going off on him. They're a well-oiled machine. Daniel Bryan right now is hands down one of the best wrestlers in on the planet.
And he's a
You
hell of a
have
heel.
Claudio and Moxley, who are again some of the you had. This is going to be just a great match.
Oh yeah.
I am excited for this match. I'm sure you can tell in the tone of my voice how it
Mm.
perked up because I am excited to see just what they're going to do. I'm everybody's going to fucking bleed.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
Kenny's
every
kind of a
single one.
psychopath too, as well. Like he will dig deep in those dark areas of his brain and
Yes,
get some really crazy shit.
we know Hangman's not scared to bleed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Claudio, we know Claudio's a tough guy. That man had his teeth knocked in his gums, finished the match, and
Oh,
came
that's
back and kept
right.
on going.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan and Willie Yuta aren't scared to bleed, and neither are the Young Bucks. So
And
this is going to be somebody's going to be a that. What happened to Steve Macklin in at Under Siege for Ring of Honor is going to be nothing compared to what we see in this match. It's going to bleed blood everywhere. This is going to have to be the last match because nobody's going to be able to perform after
oof.
all the blood that's on the canvas. Because I'm looking forward to it, and then I'm also thinking when I think to the Anarchy in the Arena, I think back to the Stadium Stampede, and I don't know if they're gonna go as comical, but I did love the spots that they had in the Stadium Stampede, and then with things like Jake Hager and
Dude.
what's it called,
No,
drinking a
it's
beer.
a rematch of last year. That was Stadium Stampede, but
yeah,
last year they
yeah,
did have Anarchy in the Arena. It was the Blackpool Combat Club and Eddie Kingston against I think it was the JAS. And bro,
yes,
Daddy Magic was
yeah.
bleeding
That was
everywhere, dude. Holy hell.
the one where he got pinned on top of the cage, and Eddie Kingston threw Sammy off the top.
No, that was Blood and Guts, I think.
Damn, they had some good ass
Dude,
matches.
it
I
was a
have
great
all the
feud. Yeah.
There's a that was these guys have great chemistry as
Oh
far
yeah.
as the Blackpool Combat Club, and everything that they touch is gold. So
I mean,
yes, I'm going with them because I think that I think this feud is going to keep on going. I just
I'm
do.
for it. I love John Moxley as a heel. He's just a nasty dude, like just a mean son of a bitch. And I think he might be the best guy on the microphone, better than Brian Danielson, in my opinion. But Brian Danielson is nothing to scoff at either, man. This guy is just an evil, conniving son of a bitch. I love it. Wheeler has a mean streak to him now. I like this. And then you have Claudio. Claudio is just a beast. This guy is going to be probably throwing the Young Bucks everywhere. Like, there's just so many ways you can
Oh
go with
yeah.
this. This is going to be a great match. I would probably say this likely will be still the night and probably be the match of the night. But this is going to be a fantastic match. I'm looking forward to it. But I agree. I don't mind seeing this again continuing. Although they may have to cool that down because we do have Forbidden Door coming up. But I'm surprised. Okay, so we both agreed Blackpool Combat Club will win Anarchy in the Arena. But did you say as far as it's going to be a clean pin or is there interference?
I mean, I hate to kind of say, like to me, anything in like an Anarchy in the Arena or an unsanctioned or anything is clean. Because there's no
Yeah.
disqualification. When you have no disqualification, there really is no interference.
Yeah, but they can use
Like
that to
everything
they
is
might
fair.
do that to protect Kenny or who's as far as taking the pin. But it'd be probably one of the Young
I think
Bucks.
that he might take a bad spot. I think he might get hit with a big spot. I don't know if there's anybody who's gonna come out and interfere unless maybe Don Callis does come out with Takestra. Maybe I can see Don Callis coming out because his story he did just disappear. But I mean, I don't think you need it. But it's interesting to think about. I totally forgot about Don Callis there for
I
a
did
minute
too,
until you said
until he popped up
and
on
brought
my
it
feed
back
last
in.
night. Yeah,
So maybe he will, but I already thought the Blackpool Combat Club was gonna win.
I actually had the Elite winning at first, but then I kind of changed it because I forgot about the other factors that would play into it. But um, I mean, yeah, I think yeah, there's more to do with this. There's so much meat on the bones here that there's probably they may go back to this possibly. That could be the blood and guts match. Um, we shall see, or maybe
So
Takeshita turns on the elite at blood and guts. I don't know who would be the 5 versus 5, but we shall see,
but
man. Huh?
don't forget also they're kind of doing. It seems like they're kind of doing like a Roman Reigns thing with Kenny, because remember he still doesn't know that. Like I said before, that the Young Bucks gave Hangman Adam Page the okay and the head nod to hit him with that buckshot lariat to win the championship. So with this constantly going on, you're gonna have. I'm waiting to see where the trust issues start to pop in with the elite,
Okay.
and I think that this is the Blackpool Combat Club is the perfect group to say it's hard as hell to beat them. What are we gonna do? And you start seeing the little cracks in the cracks in their armor and the trust
Chinks in
issues
armor,
starting to
yeah.
pop up because they're just having such a hard time against the Blackpool Combat Club. I think there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot left that they could tell with this.
They actually did pay off that on the last being the elite. The Dark Order
They did it on
did.
BTE.
That's why I brought up the Dark Order. Like the Dark Order did actually tell Kenny, hey, like the Bucks did give him the nod when that happened, but
Oh,
Omega did. He kind of went on his little rant. He did kind of do a Roman thing there as well, but it went the other way where he pretty much said like, you know how much courage that takes for the for y'all
oh wow.
to admit that. Yeah, went the opposite way, brother. It was, you have to watch it.
You
It was
know,
fantastic. It was funny.
that's what I hate about. That's the only thing that bugs me about AEW is that if you're not watching every single piece of their content, you're gonna miss something. And sometimes it's important stuff like that's something important in the storyline that we've been waiting to have paid off. And that you tell it on BTE, and I know that a lot of stuff is told on BTE because we just talked about this how that
Mm-hmm.
you had to watch Dark Elevation. If you didn't watch Dark Elevation, you missed a lot of people. So if somebody says, "Yeah, I have 10 wins in a row," and you're like, "Wait, I only seen you fight twice." Well, I racked them all up on AEW Dark and Elevation, and you're just like,
Yeah, no one cared. Yeah, the rankings went
yeah.
out the door. Yeah, that
But
was.
what I'm but that, I just mean, but you there's so much stuff that happens on other shows that they reference on the main product that it's like, golly, boy, I'm not trying to watch everything you put out.
Yeah.
I don't watch Access and BTE and AEW and Dark Elevation and Collision. Well, there's no more Dark
All
Elevation and
access
stuff.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, and Rampage. It's like, oh
Jeez,
man,
it's a lot. It's a lot to digest. Now you
and
have
it's like it's
Collision
all
coming
one.
up. And ROH.
Like at
Yeah.
least with WWE, you can take a break. Like if you don't see Raw, it's not you don't have to say, "Hey, yeah, I'm gonna miss something on SmackDown." It's gonna no, it's confined to Raw. If you miss something on Rampage, you might have missed some good shit that you're gonna be like, "Damn, when did this happen?" When you watch the
Mm-hmm.
Dynamite, you're like, "I don't even remember this happening." Oh, it happened on Rampage, son of a bitch. Oh man, this happened in BTE. Like,
Yeah.
oh come on, bro. So now I have to go and watch BTE before I wish I had known that because I would have watched that before we did this because then I would have been more informed. I didn't know that they were putting some essential shit to some storytelling on
You are actually
BTE.
making the same argument that Brian Alvarez did with Meltzer, where Meltzer was telling that the storyline from being the elite, where Brian Alvarez was like, why aren't they putting this on TV? Why are they doing this on social media or on YouTube? I want to see it on television. Like, that doesn't make sense. Which I
Yes.
agree. I think they should do that. But and then on top of that, it was a weak storyline this past Dynamite. They really didn't play off much from Hangman rejoining the elite. They just kind of interviewed Hangman for a few couple seconds, and the Bucks interfered in the main event. That was it. No Kenny. It was a weak build to Anarchy at the Arena, but it was a long term story booking here that paid off finally. But it was kind of a weak follow up.
But you would think that in a week where you have your go home show to what isn't Double or Nothing? You could correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Double or Nothing basically their or is it All Out that's their WrestleMania?
No, All Out is their WrestleMania. Double or Nothing
All Out.
was the inaugural show to AEW. That's where Moxley made his debut.
Okay. Okay. So it's just one of the big four, and okay.
Yes.
But you would think that if you're going home to especially the Anarchy in the Arena, and you're going and you don't have many pay-per-views, you have other stories coming up that's not something that you would just put on BTE. Hey, we resolved this issue. You made a big deal out of it before.
They're
Oh,
starting to
it's
focus
just
less and
whatever.
less on being elite. I have been watching BT for a long time. They were doing more payoffs. If you were watching BT, you were watching Ring of Honor, but they're doing that less and less now. Like on being elite is kind of a watered down version of what it used to be. Like now it's like parts where the young bucks are shopping for shoes for 10 minutes. Fans have complained about that, and they just buy more shoes. So
But that's what it's
yeah,
supposed to be. Or the
yeah,
things like I was telling you where I like the whole storyline with Private Party and
yeah.
when they were calling Adam Hangman Pussy Page and shit like that. I think that's funny.
That is
You know,
funny.
that sounds
Yeah.
but that's the kind of stuff that should be on Being the Elite when they're doing stuff for the
Well,
title belt that they have, the BTE championship. things that you're gonna put into a main storyline that help drive the story along is not something that you should put on YouTube and that people aren't. I don't want to watch BTE for everything.
No,
I don't want to
yeah.
watch.
No,
I don't want to watch every
I
single piece of
you're
content
not
that you
wrong.
put out
I
as
agree,
missing
and that's why
something.
they've been trying to. I think Tony has been trying to focus more on actual television time and programming and booking on TV as opposed to social media or YouTube. What I'm trying to say is like it's a watered down version. It's a like very it's like severely watered down version because they actually have like a Hollywood hunk on there, like which was Dolph Ziggler's brother. They had
Yeah, he's
Peter
pretty
Avalon.
funny. Yeah,
I
Ryan
don't
He's
like
funny.
Ryan Nemeth. He's so boring. Like I'm
He's a
sorry, man.
funny dude,
I as
man.
soon as I see Hollywood Hunk, fast forward. I do not like this
Hmm.
man. But you obviously you like certain things. I kind of like the way
Yeah,
I
some of his
love.
jokes are funny.
I don't know, that's debatable. But anyway, but that being said, I think I do agree with you. They definitely need to focus more on better booking here. But I think Collision should take some of the weight off of them as far as them trying to rush so
We'll
many
see.
segments at once. But we'll see as far as the Dynamite Elite versus CM Punk Collision. Anyway, so we both agree we're gonna go with the not the BBC but the BCC. But
Yes,
uh,
sir.
moving on to the main event of the show, the AEW World Championship. We have MJF versus Jungle Boy versus Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara. No one on this planet believes MJF is going to lose his title. Not even Vegas. Vegas actually upped him up to a minus 5,000 favorite. Darby at plus 500. Sammy plus 500. Jungle Jack Perry plus 800. Jungle Boy is for sure probably the least believable character as far as person or wrestler to win or have a chance of it. No one actually believes that MJF is going to lose here. But
Nah.
I think the focus here should be how MJF wins. I think there is more to this. Sammy Guevara has been kind of on and off. I think they're trying to turn him more into a babyface. You can tell they're kind of as far as especially his promos coming up more as far as babyface because he's actually somewhat likable on All Access. Same thing with Ty Conte. I think Ty and both of them were just heat magnets, especially what happened at it. And I'll let D explain what I'm talking about with the Sammy Guevara issue. Him going on and off is kind of dumb. I believe what needs to happen here, I think we do have a double turn. I think Sammy Guevara will stay as a babyface. I believe Jungle Jack, as far as Jungle Boy Jack Perry, may turn to City Boy Jack Perry. I think you actually had a good booking as far as way of that happening. I'll let you repeat that if you remember. But I think MJF goes over here due to Jungle Jack interfering or causing the win here that leads to MJF as far as retaining the title. Of course, I will let you have the floor here. Go ahead.
I'm gonna start off by saying I'm just a filthy casual fan with an opinion. I always like to preface that because I'm gonna say that I did not think the build up to this was the best, and I'll say
It
the
was pretty
reason
weak.
why is because I don't think that they, I don't think that they're great on the mic. I think that it felt like it was all over the place. Like you're telling a story with Jack Perry, and I get it. You Sammy Guevara was just on, and with the heat stuff, which I don't think is deserved for him. But people don't like Sammy because he proposed to his, his then
Longtime girlfriend.
fiance
Yeah.
in the ring, and she said yes, and then all of a sudden you're now with Ty, and you had her on the blog and all of that stuff. And to me, I think that that's their personal business. I get how people don't like you because once you let people in your life, you allow them to judge you. That's pretty much how that
Mm-hmm.
is, and
Mm-hmm.
that wasn't a storyline. That was real life. So people just look at it like they did her dirty, where they don't know. Maybe she did something. We don't know the whole story.
True.
Maybe it was an amicable breakup. All you see is him with Ty Conti with this handsome young man who seems like all the women love him with this beautiful young lady who all the guys love her, and you're thinking like, oh my God, they must have he must have cheated with her when that might not be the case. You don't know, so you should really keep your opinions and your judgments to yourself. And that's my opinion on that. But regardless, he got heat for it, and they tried to turned him heel, well, back to heel with Jericho, and
With
that's
JS.
great.
Yeah.
But how do all of a sudden, out of like nowhere, now 2 weeks ago he was an idiot, saying, "Oh no, MJF is really my friend, and you're ready to take this money from him." To now, you're all of a sudden, "I've been working for this my entire life, bro." You was ready to take a payout the other day. Even your woman said, "You know, he's playing you." There was no at no time when it felt like Sammy Guevara was trying to outsmart MJF. He just felt like the dumb goofball that was taking the money, not that who doesn't know what's going on. So now I'm supposed to believe that he's this championship material and he's going to beat MJF.
Well,
So I
yeah,
didn't like what they did with Sammy because I think that he's great in the ring,
yeah.
but I think that they need to work on his character, and I don't think that they did him any favors. It's like they tried to flip flop him so that when he and Jungle Boy turn, spoiler alert, I think Jungle Boy is gonna go bad in this. He's gonna turn heel in this. But it seemed like they did it so that there'd be a big surprise when he turns heel and costs everybody the match where MJF can come in and sneak and win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think the only one who's really stayed true to themselves in this is Darby and MJF. Darby is just that dude who's been saying from the beginning, look, I'm not just happy to be here. I want to win. Do I think that he's ready to win it? Nah. Do I want to see him as my champion? Not really. That's just me
Wow.
personally.
Wow.
Yeah, I appreciate the things he's done with Sting, but he's not my cup of tea. He's another Jeff Hardy. I feel like a lot of the things he does is just throwing his body to the wind, and
You
as people
you're
find it,
referring to Darby like he's saying he's reckless.
yeah, and I like Darby. I think that he's a great, he's great at what he
Babyface, yeah.
does.
Mm.
But just like with Jeff Hardy, I don't. I'm not interested in seeing you as champion. And like with him beating a lot of guys, I don't like when it comes to my championship. Eddie Guerrero was somebody I believed you know could win against Brock Lesnar, against Kurt Angle, The Rock, Stone Cold, anybody. I didn't believe Rey Mysterio could beat everybody. When he beat Batista, I was just like, yo, this is garbage. This is BS. Come on. I don't believe that Darby Allin can just beat anybody. You get what I'm saying? To me, and
I
that's my opinion. That people can say whatever they want. That's my you don't have to agree. I'm not asking anybody to agree. This is what I like in my wrestler.
no, I got
Like
you.
I
Yeah,
believe that I believe that Jungle Boy could win against a lot of dudes. I
just
believe
not
that
here.
Sammy Guevara. Like don't get me wrong. I believe that against the right person. Like you put said you said what's his name? I just had his name. The reckless one. Darby
Darby,
Allin. You put him up against like
Mister, I love turtles.
you put him up against a Kenny. I believe that he might be able to win. He might be able to squeak out a win. If he goes up against John Moxley, I just see John Moxley just pulverizing him. You
Oh
get what
my
I'm saying?
God, yeah.
So that's why, like right now, I don't think he has to believe. Now, could they build him up to have a believability factor? Yeah. Did he have a great TNT run? Yes. Maybe I need to see him do it without Sting. I don't know. Maybe I have a bias against Darby. I don't know. I just don't see him as a world champion right now. The only
Yeah.
one in this match that I truly see as a world champion is MJF. He's the only one that can do it in the ring, do it on the mic. He looks
Hmm.
like he's $1 million. He acts like he's $1 million. He makes you believe that he's a champion. I don't believe what Jungle Boy Jack Perry says. I just don't. His matches are great. I just don't believe what he says. I don't believe what Sammy Guevara says because a couple of months ago you was hanging off of Jericho's nut strap. You and Daniel Garcia was sitting there. You was bossing around Daniel Garcia.
He's lackey, yeah. That's good stuff, though.
You know what I'm saying? So, but now all of a sudden, I'm supposed to believe that you have this fire and desire in your heart to now be the AEW champion when that wasn't your focus a while ago. Out of all of them, besides MJF, the only one who has had damn near singular focus on gold is Darby Allin. Like
Yeah, he's
he's the
overachieved
only
for
one
sure.
who's
Yeah.
yes, he's had that singular focus on look, and that's why I do like him because he's always like, yo, look, I just want the gold. I don't care how I get there. Now, if you want to tell me he's gonna eke his way into championships, I'll roll with it. I can suspend my disbelief. You feel me?
Yeah.
If you're gonna tell me he's roll ups and he's gonna find ways to outsmart his opponents, I'm all for it because that's a great champion to me. You don't always have to win with brawn; you can win with your brains.
Hmm.
But I think that him as a champion, it's kind of like when he had the TNT championship in Orange Cassidy now. When you constantly throw your body up against the wall, eventually the wall is gonna win.
I think he has
You know
won a
what I'm
couple
saying?
times. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
and
he's
as
kind
a
of already
champion,
alluded that his time is kind of winding down, surprisingly. But I mean, the dude is like trying to Darby Allen. He's already. I think he's working on trying to get a will done because before he climbs up Mount Everest, which is it's insane. But no, I agree with you.
so you,
He may be
so
a
you get what
young
I'm
Jeff
saying?
Hardy. Yeah, no, absolutely, I
Yeah,
agree. 100%
and
agree
as a
with you.
champion, you can't have that because you want your champion to have some longevity because that's how you tell a story.
Yeah. Hmm.
And if what is his story going to be that I just keep throwing my body at people till I wear them down? No, you're going to wear down to before your opponents do. If you're constantly throwing yourself at people like Hangman, Wardlow, Miro, Moxley, Daniel Bryan, or Brian Danielson, excuse me, Adam Cole, your body is going to give out on you. You can't constantly throw your body at those kind of competitors. Think that you're going to keep going. Now, if you want to tell me he's going to outsmart them, I'm all for it. But that's
Hmm.
more of an MJF kind of thing. You get what I'm saying?
I
Like if
think
he's gonna
yeah,
sneak wins, I
yeah,
can deal with it. But overall, I don't. I don't think that I like Darby. I just don't see. I don't see him personally as my champion. I don't think that the other two have proven themselves on the mic, and I think that if I'm looking at it objectively, from my opinion, my perspective, MJF is out of all of them, he is the only one that I see as a world champion. Now, do I think that any of them could have great runs with the TNT championship? Yes.
hmm,
Or the intercon. I would love to see Jungle Boy or Sammy as the intercon as the excuse me the
international. Yep.
international champion. I would love to see it. I think that they would have great matches and they could have some great workhorse matches. And then you do that, I can see okay, maybe at that time they can be ready for it. But at this time, right now, I just see MJF as head and shoulders above the rest. And I
Yeah.
will say, Darby Allen, he did impress me with his promo work in this thing before it started getting redundant. His first couple of
Yeah.
promos were really good, really good. He had me believing for a little bit there. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I'm
I'm
glad
sorry,
you.
I went on a
No,
little
you're
rant.
fine. No, I'm glad you actually said that because I completely forgot about this. Going to alluding, I 100% agree with everything as far as you're saying. One with the Sammy Guevara issue with him flip flopping. So I'll start with him. The fact that he was a dumb heel, that's that's normal. But the fact that Sammy Ty Conte had to smarten him up, that's even a bigger joke. That's him. Him saying like shove that check up your ass, like he's not very good on the mic. I agree with you there. The Darby Allen issue, man. He did call out Jungle Jack Perry as far as saying that he was actually a bad person or not a very nice person in the back or in the locker room, which is kind of weird that they kind of add that in their promos. Where Darby and Sammy it seemed like they actually had more trust with each other compared to Jungle Boy, Jack Perry. That being said, you've been pretty soft on Jungle Boy. You actually called him something else. You pretty much said he was plain or he was boring or he's vanilla. And
Yes, he's
man,
very much so.
yeah, he's
He's
super
very much
vanilla.
so. His
He
promos are terrible.
yeah, he's not very believable. He does have kind of a punchable face. Um,
I
he
didn't say
needs
that.
no.
No.
I said that. I'll say it. I don't like Jungle Boy either. Jungle Boy kind
Well,
of Luchasaurus
the,
was the one carrying that
Well,
tag team in my
I
opinion.
can't let you go. I didn't say I didn't like him. I said I don't like his promo work, but I keep preaching and I keep saying it to you. I think his ring work is very good.
He's all right.
I like his ring work. See, that's where we differ. I respect his ring work. It's just his promo work that I don't think I don't like. I don't care for his promo work, but his ring work, I'm not gonna take that away from him. He puts on good matches. My opinion.
Yeah,
My opinion.
but I guess the reason why we both believe, I think I mentioned this, like I do believe Jungle Boy will turn to City Boy, Jack Perry. You brought up a good booking, as far as way to kind of have him turn, which kind of goes with the Sammy Guevara and MGF storylines early on where they were best friends. That was fantastic. I love that, and they just kind of stalled out after that. They just didn't know what to do with it. They needed something better to book with this, and it kind of fizzled out once they
Oh,
kind
I
of
know
went
what
away.
you're talking about.
Yeah, like as far as him like saying when MJF was saying like they were leaving in the SUV, and MJ said no, it's full, bro. And he said no, I had the
That
and
was
then Sammy actually said like, well, I saw what happened. There was nobody in there, but MJF actually's response was clever, saying like, you know what, I've been carrying this company for so long, my back is hurting. I kind of have to stretch out. I'm sorry, I didn't want you to think I was a weak person. And then the fact that actually like hugged and kissed afterwards, that was just great. That was just great stuff. I love that. They went. I thought they should have carried that into the main event and kind of turned, but now it stalled out. It's not a very interesting. It's not a good main event. It's a boring, bland main event. No one actually believes MJF is going to drop this title, and this is why it's such a weak main event. But I think here that's why I wanted to bring up. I think how MJF win is the story. I don't know if you remember what you said that when MJF handed Sammy Guevara the blank check, you proposed an idea of booking how
Yes,
this turned out.
yeah. That Jungle Boy takes the check and lays down for him. Is that the point? Is that the one you're talking
I
about?
think yeah, whether it's that or however the case might be, where
I
they're
had a whole bunch. I need to start writing these things down.
dude, you had that was a
I'll
good
be
good
having a
booking.
whole
Tony
bunch
might
of them.
actually. Man, you might want to post this on Tony, like at Tony. Hey, brother, have Jungle City Boy Jack Perry do the work or do the job. But I think he might actually lay out Darby and have MJF pin him and kind of like let him like go ahead
Oh,
and pin him.
that okay, yes.
That would make
Which
more
would
sense.
or lay out Sammy. It could be either one of them. And the reason I say Sammy is because it'll be like you should have taken the money, bro.
You could go either one. But we'll see. I think that would be that would get a hell of a reaction for sure from the crowd. But it feels like a lot of people are saying the same thing too. Now it's kind of expected that Jack Perry turns. So the sword here would
Because
be
they
that he
planted
doesn't
all the
turn.
seeds.
Yeah, and that's true. Darby did call out Jungle Boy Jack Perry. God, I just want to call him Jack.
Mm,
To his face as far as him being called not a nice person. And you also said also with MGF they kind of planted the seeds as well, saying that hey, being a nice guy doesn't get you anywhere. Like you were discussed that
yeah.
this is not going to get you anywhere. It's not working. That may actually turn them, but I don't know where they're going to go with this. We'll see what happens. But I guess we're both as far as agreeing MGF should go over, bet
Oh
everything on
yeah.
MGF.
Yeah, yeah. I'm definitely going MJF. I just
Okay.
think that this was it was just a weak build. I think like but I keep saying I think this gonna be a good match. I think it's gonna be a really, really
Oh
good
yeah.
match. You have four really good workers. I just think that as I said before with most of the card, I think that a lot of the buildup was the buildup to this card was weak. When you look at the card at face value, when you look at the matches, I'm just like, golly, like this card is stacked. Even
Mm-hmm.
if you want to say, oh, the buy-in is just the ass boys and the Hardys with hook, that's I'm still here for that
Oh yeah.
match.
Still
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? It's going to be entertaining. And then you look up and down this card. I don't see a bad match on this card. Like you want to say a weak match, you might Jay Lethal doesn't have bad matches, and neither does FTR. Christian Cage and Wardlow, I don't think is going to be a bad match. Last time Hayter and Tony Storm tore the house down.
That was a
Chris
physical
Jericho
match.
and Adam Cole are
Yeah.
great. They're great workers. You know that
Yeah.
that's going to
Yeah.
be a great match, even with or without Sabu and everybody else. If it was just a one-on-one match, it would be great. So you make it an unsanctioned. There's going to be shenanigans, but I still think it's going to be a great match. Taya and Jade had a decent match. I thought that the match was a little sloppy. I'm hoping that with them, having that previous work together, that this match will be a little bit better. But because I'm expecting a really good match from them. The battle royal, I'm looking. I
That's
think
gonna
that
be
you have
good.
enough storylines and a lot of good workers. I hope that they do the. I don't know whether it's going to be a battle royal or a royal rumble kind of thing.
I think they're gonna
I
do
don't.
like the spades and the hearts and all that like before.
Now I wouldn't mind that. I kind of like how they do that. I hate when everybody's in the ring at the same time. I like the anticipation. Well, I like it more when you don't know, who's going to enter when. And then you look at the House of Black and the Acclaim. There really is no weak match on this match. I'm not even going to mention Anarchy and Arena because I would be insulting them by throwing them in any kind of
Mm-hmm.
what if. So there's no really weak match on this card. Weak buildups, yes. Weak
Yeah.
matches, no. I am so looking forward to this card, bro.
It
So
should be
looking
good.
forward
It
to
should be solid. Like the main event is kind of like lackluster, but the names on the card are really good. My expectations are somewhat low, so I really hope they deliver or
it.
over deliver here.
Really?
Yeah, my expectations are kind of low on this one, so I'm actually just gonna sit there and try to enjoy it, and I think
Okay.
I may actually, as far as have a better experience watching it.
Okay. Okay. I don't have low expectations. I see some of these workers, and like I said, I'm this shouldn't be like I don't know like where's the bathroom break? Like every now and then you could look at a card and
Um,
say, "Here's the bathroom break." What match is the bathroom break? You don't want to get up and leave one of the women's matches because you know those are going
that's
to be two good
true.
matches.
I mean, it would be
You don't want to get up.
in between matches, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. There's no match where you're just like, even the championship match, the AEW World Championship, you're just like, you might not like the competitors as far as what they offer on the mic and the build up to the match. But when you look at, even if you take, I know you don't like Jungle Boy, but you take him out of the equation, you still have three great workers. Sammy does shit that's amazing on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Darby is, he's gonna throw himself at somebody, and he's gonna throw his
Yeah.
caution to the wind. He
Can't
doesn't really give a
I
fuck. And
can't wait.
MJF is gonna
I
put
can't
on.
wait to see him drop kick people with his head. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Hey, the man, he puts on, he throws his
He puts on a
body.
show. Yeah.
I gotta
Yeah.
respect it. I told you
It,
it's not one of my favorite kind of styles, but I gotta respect it. It's interesting.
well, real quick, since that's going on, as far as there is a couple things I do want to bring
Sure.
up as far as they're coming
What's
up,
up?
as far as events coming up. Collision Saturday, June 17th in Chicago. Guess who's back? Vegas did actually insert as far as CM Punk appearing at Double Nothing with a plus 1,000. I don't expect him to show up, but I do think he will show up at Collision.
Vegas is every day. They come on and bet your money on something.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
They will bet on it. Look, I bet you somebody gets spit literally knocked out of their mouth. You want to take that bet? Look, and they will bet on anything.
Yeah. But any thoughts on Collision?
I think that is going to be a good show. I think that is needed. See, as much as people are saying that it's the CM Punk show, I think that it was needed because you have talent that's not doing anything.
Yeah.
And Rampage isn't providing the platform that they thought it would. So, regardless of what night you put the show on, you needed a second show because you have people. There's no reason why you have people like Miro, Andrade. Now you have Thunder Rosa back. You have Chris Statlander coming back. You have Jay. You have what's her name? Jay Blue, the one that's with Dante. You
Sky Blue?
have Anna Jay. You have you
Yeah.
have these women that need, Sky Blue. You have these women that need time. You have all of these men who need time. There's Ethan, like you said, Ethan Page isn't getting on. You don't see Hook that often. There's people that are out of sight, out of mind. Like I'm trying to just think of people off the top of my head, but you don't see. There's just people who are literally out of sight, out of mind, and it's like between ROH and now Collision, everybody is finally
Yeah.
getting a chance because now you starting to see Samoa Joe more often. You're getting this AR Fox. I know, like we were talking about, he's had 8 title matches, but at least he's getting a shot at, he's being seen. You're getting the Lucha Brothers. You just got Aussie Open. Hopefully, Mark Quinn is close and Isaiah Cassidy to come back healthy. You can do something with Josh Woods and those guys because Josh Woods is a great wrestler. You have Big
Ethan
Bill
Page or
and
something.
Bandito
Yeah.
and Keith
Yeah.
Lee and Swerve and Ricky. You have all of these guys, so I think that Collision is going to be great for getting talent on TV, not just as people say the CM Punk show. Because what happens if
Those are CM Punk guys, though. Though he did handpick
But-
some FTR and Miro and Andrade. Yeah.
Okay, but what happens when the CM Punk show doesn't have CM Punk because he's hurt?
He.
Who you going to fall back on? But that's what I'm saying. It's
No,
at that point, it's no longer the CM Punk show.
Funny enough that you mentioned that, they've already decided as far as the next feud. As far as from what I've heard on my side, as far as through Figure 4, CM Punk's next feud, his next handpicked person, it is Samoa Joe. Yeah. So can't wait to see that one. That should be fantastic. So the other thing too I want to go up as far as upcoming event. This one I'm probably looking forward to the most is Forbidden Door, Sunday, June 25th in Toronto with the All Elite Wrestling versus New Japan Wrestling. Dude, I cannot wait for that, especially in Canada. I mean, like, those fans, my God, Canada is just fantastic. I would love to be in the stands in just one of those as far as events, just to soak it all in, dude. Because these fans are rabid. Holy hell! Like, and on top of that, but the part that sucks about as far as this Forbidden Door, no AAA wrestlers like Andrade, the Lucha Brothers, I think Vikingo and Commander will not be there because of the whole CML and also AAA thing. Yeah. So that kind of sucks. But anything you want to say for Forbidden Door main event?
I mean, we don't really know what's gonna happen yet, so it's hard to talk about. But I always look forward to cross promotion. I
Yeah.
love and I
Mhm.
love because it's like I always say when it comes to like WWE and AEW. I hope that one day we can get a cross promotion so that we can get something like this where we can get, hey, your guy goes over, my guy goes over, this goes
Yeah.
over, this goes over. We can see these dream matches that we don't have to wait for somebody's contract to run out and then to hop over, in order to see. And there is one thing I'm intrigued about because I'm a big Will Ospreay fan. I
Oh yeah.
like Will Ospreay.
Glad you brought him
He
up.
he he, he had me when he did the when somebody goes to do the Hurricane Rana off the
Yeah.
top rope and the man just did a flip out of it and he walked off. It was fucking dope. Like I had never seen anything like that before. He did it's kind of like when Samoa Joe walks away when you try to do the flip on him off
Yeah.
the top rope. I love that kind of stuff. I love smart, intelligent wrestlers. So I'm looking to see what's gonna happen with him. And who's Aussie Open gonna fight? Because
I
now
think
they're
Aussie
with AEW.
Open
They'll
will
be representing AEW instead of
yeah.
New Japan.
No, I think they're kind of on both shows. Like how like kind of like Eddie Kingston does, and also as far as
They're
Wheeler
all
Yuta.
they're all elite though, bro.
Yeah, I
Regardless
think,
of
but
what you want to
I
say,
think
they're all
Bryan
elite.
Danielson will go to New Japan eventually because he wants to go to Japan. But I mean, the collision thing might daunt that or might put a damper in those plans. But I think there is one match that's going on right now, which is for the U.S. title. I think New Japan is doing a tournament that the winner will face Kenny Omega, and this would probably be the event to do it at. So I think it's going on with the Murderhawk against Will Ospreay. I think
Oh,
that's going
really?
on. Yeah, and I think Ospreay is the favorite. So I think the way to go about doing this would be Forbidden Door have Will Ospreay in Canada versus Kenny Omega, run it back in the UK at All In, and that brings them to the next event, All In London, live Sunday, August 27th. Any thoughts about that other than the
Man, you
70K
going
thousand
real
fans?
far into the future.
Oh yeah,
Jeez.
brother. Oh yeah, brother.
Well, I haven't even given that any thought like that. I know it's gonna be a fantastic card. You have to book a great card when you're gonna any people are like, oh, they're going to London. Anytime you book a stadium, you have to have a good card. And you have to put together an exceptional card because now you're going sight unseen. Everybody is buying that you've basically sold out sight unseen. Nobody knows what you're doing.
No card. Yeah.
So I think that Tony has to come with it. He doesn't usually, let's be real. Tony puts on great matches when he needs to.
Mm-hmm.
He pulls great cards out of his ass when he like even his mediocre cards. Like we can look at this. This is a mediocre card, but this is a damn good card right here for
Mm-hmm.
Double or Nothing. If this is what we're gonna get on a mediocre card, I'm looking forward to seeing what we get on a great card. Because if you really look at this card, look how many there aren't too many single matches. Most matches, I think that there's only 4 singles. All the rest is either tag team, um, 4-man, fatal 4 ways,
Mm-hmm.
battle royals. Could
Japanese
you
death
imagine
matches.
somebody? There's so yeah, there's so many different things that can come for like there's so many different combinations of these people that you can have on All In. I'm excited for it.
Enforcer matches with
Oh God, I still don't know why do you, all right, am I wrong?
No, I agree
Am I
with you,
wrong
brother. I
though?
agree with you. I agree with you.
Like,
It's
why is
just funny.
there a special enforcer in an unsanctioned match? I
Maybe we'll
don't
have a
get it.
we'll have it. We'll
What
run
are
it
you
back. We'll have
enforcing?
Taz and Sabu, or maybe Terra Funk. I don't know. Is Terra Funk still alive? Uh,
Oh
um,
God,
yeah, but that being said, I think
maybe
man,
Goldberg will come out.
I think, dude, now I completely forgot about that. And I think the next
Maybe
one,
Goldberg will come out and help.
All Out is still scheduled to go out the following week after All In Chicago. I think the next competitor, I mean, you could probably bring in Goldberg or a Sting to do a retirement match at All In with MJF. The amount of heat that would get would be amazing. But I think the All Out match for MJF, that main event, I've heard rumblings of Adam Cole, so
Okay, I was
that
about to
would
say,
be
please don't say
something.
CM
Yeah,
Punk.
that would be good,
As
bro.
long as CM Punk isn't getting a title shot, I'm happy, bro.
I mean, I'm
That's
sure
all. As long as CM Punk's not getting
the
that title, yeah, eventually, but not right now.
okay.
You
So
can't put that
let me
title
ask you
on him
this:
anytime soon.
for All In Wembley, if with no card, obviously, if it doesn't work out, I think it will be Omega and Will Ospreay running back. Although I think Will Ospreay should win that match in Wembley. Um, I think the match that would sell out that stadium for sure would be the Elite with the Bucks and Omega versus CM Punk and FTR. If they book that somehow and they work it out, does that stadium get sold out?
I mean, everybody wants to see that match because of controversy.
Oh yeah, they got the
That's
brawl
that's
out.
a that's a match that everybody wants to see because of controversy. There's no You wanted to see it before because of wrestling, but now that now that Brawl Out happened and all of that shit went down, and people find out about all the backstage stuff, and there's still stuff that you don't know, but everybody's going to assume and create their own narrative because everybody has to pick a side. Two people can't be wrong, just somebody has to be right and somebody has to be wrong. All parties just can't be fucked up, but that's another story.
I
But
mean,
with that being said, like people act like they were there, so people have to pick sides. They hear part of the story and they have to pick sides. I don't really care who was right and who was wrong. I just want to see good wrestling. You
yeah,
feel me?
we'll
And
find
if
out.
and with all of this controversy, if they don't do this match and make money, I see that as something that's crazy to me. But yes, people. I think that people will buy tickets just to see a train wreck. Like
I mean,
people.
they should put that
Right.
on pay per view if they have that done. But they have not decided how they're gonna broadcast this. But I'm there for it, man. I'm definitely gonna watch it regardless.
I
But
would.
that is gonna be something interesting. So, okay. Any final thoughts? Anything you want to get out the way before we go?
No, I think we've hit it all. I just
Yeah.
think that this is going to be a fantastic card. We had we had a very good pay per view today. I thought that the ending was fantastic with WWE, and I'm just looking for my weekend to continue with another great pay per view from AEW. I can generally say that they
Mm-hmm.
don't usually let us down, and I'm expecting one or two surprises from Tony.
Mm-hmm.
He usually he gives us something, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm just one of those jaded fans who's just sitting here like, come on, Tony, you got to give us something. You've been a little lackluster over the past couple weeks. You got to give us something in this pay per view. Give us some kind of treat here. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
looking forward
I
to.
think they're gonna catch fire in the summer with all these events. They're gonna catch fire for sure.
Have to.
They have to. They've dropped in the ratings too, but I think they're gonna get a nice little as far as shot in the arm with CM Punk coming back, Forbidden Door, and All In and All Out coming up. So and a lot of guys should be returning as well. So we shall see. But okay, and the last thing I want to get
Before you cut it, I just
yeah,
want to ask, match of the night.
it's
What do you have for the
for
match of the night
sure
for this one?
it will be the Elite versus the BCC.
That's what you're thinking. I and I think that that's gonna be the most brutal match. I think that the best match is either going to be, and you're gonna laugh when I say
The main
this,
event.
it's either gonna be the main event or the tag team title match.
FTR and Triple J.
Yes,
I'm there for it, brother.
because as I've watched FTR for a while, and I've watched them across multiple. Like I didn't really, I knew of the Briscoes, but I didn't really watch the Briscoes until they started having those Ring of Honor matches against
Hmm.
the FTR.
Yeah,
Then I've watched FTR for years. They don't have bad matches.
they don't.
All of their matches are always good, and when you're putting them in, and Jeff Jarrett ain't no stud. Now he's not the best wrestler in the world. I'll be the first. I'm not a big Jeff Jarrett fan like that. I like him. I don't mind him on my screen. But Jay Lethal he can go.
Oh yeah,
So and then when you add Mark into this, he's like an X factor where I want to see. I'm interested to see where that's going to go.
an
So
actual
as far as
enforcer.
yes,
Hmm.
as he's a special guest referee, but he is like the enforcer. He holds everything in his hands. And I think that something crazy is gonna happen with Dar. Somebody in that match is gonna jump off of something really high, or do some really crazy shit in that World Championship match. I don't know whether it's gonna be Sammy Darby or it's not gonna be MJF, but I don't know whether it's gonna be Sammy
That doesn't
Darby
work for me,
or Jack
brother.
Perry. Hell no. But one of them is gonna do some crazy shit.
I think Darby's the one that's gonna take the pin, and that leads up to Sting challenging MJF. But that's just me.
Oh, that'd be cool too. But somebody is going to do some crazy shit. Be like, is he dead?
That's probably
I hope
Darby.
he's not dead. That looks like it hurt. Is he dead? Yeah,
That's
or
probably
Sammy. Sammy does wild stuff, man.
yeah.
But I appreciate you having me on for these predictions on Memorial Day weekend. It was definitely cool. Definitely cool.
Hopefully, yeah, we'll do one. The last thing I wanted to get into was the AEW Fight Forever game, which is coming out, I believe, June 29th.
Oh yeah, okay,
That
nice.
I will be getting, and I will be streaming on Twitch. You can follow me on the RAY 2000123 on Twitch. Follow me there. I'll leave the link in the description. But that's all for now. We'll be back for Forbidden Door. I hope D will join us again.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I enjoyed.
yeah, it should be fun. But other than that, guys, thank you very much for as far as listening into the podcast here. We probably went a little bit long. I don't know how long we went, but that's okay. I had a lot of fun doing these. Please please like and subscribe. Comment if you agree or disagree with who you think will win. Follow us on Twitch. Links in the description. Enjoy the show. Till next time, have a good night.
Bye-bye.